that's what happens when we're in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
We begin to see things.
Yeah. And we begin to choose what we think looks good.
There you go.
We think this is it. Oh, you know, we start to think, oh, it look good, gotta be God. Sound good, gotta be God.
Well,
And we get it twisted up. We get it twisted up. Lot really thought he was getting over.
Come on.
yeah.
He really thought he was trying to get over.
Come on.
And see, that's the lot in our life. It's trying to get over. It's trying to trick you and trying to make you think something that is not what it is.
Yes.
So you can't base it on what it's looking like, because what it looked like might not be what it is. And one thing that we have to really understand, being a spiritual people, everything in this realm is temporary. It's subject to change. It's up today, it's down tomorrow. And so we can't look at things from that perspective. We got to look at a higher perspective. We have to be discerning and know it from our gut what we need to do and where we need to be. In spite of, you might be like, oh, this is a little church. Oh, it ain't even hardly nobody here on Wednesday. That ain't what it is. This house is full.
Yes.
This house is water.
Yes.
The grass is green.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't base it on what you think it is, because a lot of times we look at places and we think, oh, they got this, they got that, and so they got it going on. They don't even have the level of word that's in this house.
Come on.
They not even saying all of that. But you know what it makes me think about also? When he said, I don't know. But it made me think about this. A remnant out of a remnant.
Yes.
And so you can keep on doing the lampstand, when you said they removed the lampstand. But there are places where God just let them do their thing.
Yes.
And he just pulled a remnant
Definitely.
out of the remnant.
Yeah.
Now every time we meet, there's a remnant being put out of the remnant. So every time you're hearing, every time you're receiving, every time you're eating, you're being called out. You're being called out.
Yeah.
See, we got it mixed up. We thought it was Jesus coming back.
Right.
Now, but he coming all the time.
Yeah.
Every time you get a revelation, every time you get an understanding, every time you take a step that you know that you didn't take, every time you move forward, he's coming. He's coming. So we're not waiting, because I've been hearing this since I was a little girl.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, when is he coming? When is he coming? And you hear all the time, even with all the chaos in the world right now, they saying he must be on his way back.
Yeah. Well,
Well, babe, he was here just a minute ago when I got a revelation of what you said wasn't really it. But that's not it. He's coming every time we get a revelation. Every time we align ourselves with purpose, with what he got for our life, he's coming. It's always a
Yes.
coming. They say there's nothing new under the sun, but there's something new under the SON.
yes.
And we partaking of it. We partaking of it.
Yes. That is so true. So true. And you know, one thing I found out is this: that our perspective often focuses on immediate visual gains, to where God's perspective, which is far beyond our current understanding. So sometimes it's just because it looks good, or it looks better, or it just looks pleasing, or it's just more satisfying.
Yeah, we misjudge very often.
Very often.
Very often.
Yes.
I can say, you know, one of the things with my journey, I could not understand it for the life of me. And when you in a place of something's going on, it's kind of in that in-between place. There's a struggle. And I believe a lot of us is struggling with with transition, with making right decisions, holding on to things that that don't serve us. It didn't serve us. And one of the things you have to ask yourself that you hold it on to, whatever it is, and we all are, did it serve you? Was it fruitful?
Wow.
The way you did it, was it
Yes.
fruitful? What did it bring to you?
Yes.
Did it bring lack? Because the blessings of the Lord maketh rich and add no sorrow. So if
Yes.
sorrow comes it don't add to you, if it don't make you better, if it don't bring you closer to God, if it don't reveal purpose, if it don't bring growth, it's dead.
Yes.
It's dead. And so we have to ask ourselves, the things that we hold on to, how did it serve us? The people we hold on to, how did it serve us?
Yeah.
See, sometimes God call us out, we come in, but we want to still go back and hang out with Jim and Larry and Mary. And because I've been knowing them for a long time.
Yes.
Boom, cool.
Yeah.
But see, no. Separate.
Yes.
Let God do a work on you.
Come on.
See, one of the things that when the herdsmen were fighting, they looked and they was like, they just like us.
Yeah.
And that's why you know what? We got to separate.
Yeah.
We got to separate because the people were saying, ain't nothing to them.
Right.
They just like
They no
us.
different than us.
Yeah.
Right. Come on. Yeah.
Y'all think Kendrick Lamar said it, but God said it. That's what the world don't want that.
Yeah.
The world don't want that.
Right.
Nobody in here want that.
Right.
You know, we don't want that. All that religious stuff, all the religious practices, all the coming in and going back the same, doing the same stuff. No, behaviors got to change. Values got to change. Core values got to change. The way we do things, the way we handle our business, the way we live in our house, how we pay our bills, everything about us have to be redone.
Yeah, that's key.
Have to be redone.
Yeah.
And remember, in the world, everything look like it go up, but in the kingdom, it look like everything go down.
Yeah.
But again, it's not a real picture. It's not really what's going on. It's a trick.
It's good.
You know, and so we gotta really come out of the system, come out of these systems that's been built by the world, these systems that's been built up by churches of religion and coming in. No, that's not. You know what? Look, I would not, and I'm saying I'm serious. I would not come in here on Wednesdays and on Sundays and go home and live the same way. It's too many other things I could do on a Sunday and a Wednesday. So if I'm not going to come in here and really give myself to it and really do what I need to do, I'm not doing all that. For what? The result is going to be the same. So if I'm going to sacrifice my time, if they're going to sacrifice their time, when I come in here, I'm wholeheartedly eating this up. I'm wholeheartedly. See, we forget when we come in, we get comfortable. We forget the hell, and I'm not cussing, that we left, that we came out of.
Yes.
That we came out. They talk about hell. We came out of that.
Yeah.
That's what we came out of. It was the absence of God in our life. That was the hell.
Yeah.
So when we come in here, why would we do the why? We just playing with ourselves. We just tricking ourselves. And God don't want us to do that. He wants us to have a reality check. A reality check.
Yeah, that's good.
Grow up into the head. Come into the kingdom. He said it's his good pleasure to give it to us. So as we transitioning and we coming out and we coming into the kingdom, our whole system gotta change. People will say you in a cult. People will say you just love God too much. It don't take all that. They ain't got there. They don't even know.
Right.
They don't know what it takes. They don't know what it takes. And the truth is, sometimes they will say it because they don't measure up.
Yes.
They could be going to church and doing all that, but they see how you doing it, and the truth is they don't measure up to the standard. And so they say all this stuff about you. Again, another trick. It's another trick. We too smart. We came in. We was smart in the world. We can't come into church and get dumb. We know the game. We know how it plays. So you know when somebody, trying to throw you off your game, don't let nobody knock you off your square. Everything is not what it appears to be.
Come on. Yeah.
Everything is not what it appears to be.
Yeah. That is true. That is so true. And I mean, that's why it's important, when God begins to say, okay, lift up your eyes. I mean, that's important because that's what we need to do. He's saying, look, look beyond your earthly limitations.
Yes.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Look beyond that. You know, Lot desired what he was able to see visually because he was, you know, just that's our natural. But when transitioning happens,
Yeah.
you don't see it that way.
Mm-mm.
That's when you know that transitioning is taking place. That's how we can make adjustments in our lives, that we're moving from one place to another. When situations in our lives or things begin to happen, or, you know, whatever it might be, you know, this could happen, that could happen. Do we find ourselves going back?
Mm-hmm.
Or do we find ourselves just there trusting God in that place and then moving forward?
Yeah, you know, somebody had told me one time that they couldn't move forward because they didn't know what was going to happen if they moved forward, but they was familiar what was back here. So they chose the bondage because that was familiar.
Yep.
So a lot of times when you're in transition, it can make you feel like you're losing something. It makes you feel like, oh, man, I lost this, I can't do that. It makes you feel like that. But again, that's not what it is. You really gaining. You really coming more and more into who you are.
Yeah.
You know, like I was saying, I didn't finish. But when I was going through this, I couldn't figure it out. And so it had me in a place of struggle. Trying to get it figured out. Trying to find the purpose of it. But when I began to just let it go and let whatever gonna be is gonna be, and understand that God had me, and try to rest in that. And I'm not saying every day is easy,
Right.
but when you don't know what His hand is doing, you gotta trust His heart.
Right.
And so you have to know that His heart is for you, no matter what happens, and every